Kevin, one person who's not a woman, who I couldn't say in the top 20, 25, 30, is Brock Lesnar. Where do you think, where would you rank Brock generally? Because I mean, he was a big part of Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, these big matches against Lashley, WrestleMania. He had a match against Omos, and that was fun in a lot of people's eyes. He had a big feud with Cody from literally the moment WrestleMania ended, the Raw after Mania, for the next like 3 months. Brock appeared at the first 5 pay-per-views of 2023, and he was pretty much full time this year.
He had that massive SummerSlam main event too last year.
Exactly. An incredible last man standing match against Roman. To me, Brock is like top 20 objectively in this list.
I think a great place would be put him right over Claudio Castagnoli, who's at number 12. I think 12 is a good spot for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Because, Kevin, then you can still have your guys like your MJFs, your Gunthers, your Romans, your Codys, your Rollins, all these guys. They can still be above Brock. I get it. I'm not saying Brock should be number one. But where's Brock? Do you want to, let me search this list, because I couldn't see him in the top 25. Command F, Brock Lesnar. I can't be, he's not there. Am I not saying this right? Brock's not there?
I'm looking at the top 50. I don't see him in the top 50. We got our boy Tyrus is 58. Shout out to Tyrus. Daniel Garcia is 69. That's funny. Yeah, I don't see Brock Lesnar. I see Rocky Romero at 79.
Kevin, can we just hold the phone? I'm looking at Brock Lesnar's profile thing here on the Internet Wrestling database. This great database of wrestling. Brock Lesnar's PWI 500 yearly rankings. In 2018, he was 4th. 2020, he was 12th. And he hasn't been ranked since.
So why is that? Because he doesn't wrestle 250 matches a year?
The only thing I can think of is that there must be a match criteria cutoff, maybe. But I don't think he would have hit that in 2020. He didn't wrestle. He's had the same schedule the last 6 years, 7 years.
In 2020, he wrestled twice. In 2020, he did the Royal Rumble and then the WrestleMania match. That's it. He didn't come back throughout the pandemic.
He was full time for literally 6 months this year, and he main evented the last SummerSlam. And you're telling me this guy, Kevin? Let's look now at the PWI 500 for 2023. I'm going to read you some of the names. This is just randomly position number 101. Oh no, never mind. This is 2020. I was about to completely read the wrong list. Excuse me, Kevin. I've lost my mind.
Flabbergasted, pal.
Kevin, I can't believe what's going on. Brock Lesnar is in the top 500. Kevin, there are wrestlers literally on this list who wrestled in a few bingo halls for promotions that we have never heard of, who are apparently top whatever, and Brock's just not there. I could scream. I could make a carry on. I'm not going to. But seriously.
Unbelievable. You can't have a list. You can't have a list of 500 of the top pro wrestlers and not put Brock Lesnar on there. Doesn't even make sense. How is Brock Lesnar now one of the 500 best wrestlers? If this was a top 50 list, and okay, you want to omit Brock Lesnar because you have a bias against him because he doesn't wrestle 250 matches in front of dwindling crowds in AEW or 2,000 people in Ring of Honor. Okay, you want to penalize him for that in a top 50 list? Fine. But a top 500 list, you could find a spot for Brock Lesnar. In 500 wrestlers, Brock Lesnar deserves a spot.
Kevin, do you want to know who number 440 is on this list?
I'd love to know. I'd love to.
It's actually Karrion Kross.
Wow, that's funny. 440, man. Karrion Kross. He's supposed to be the guy that's the best wrestler on SmackDown.
And Kevin, then I'm going to read you some of the names. Kevin, these are some of the big stars in wrestling who made this list when Brock Lesnar, who was literally full-time for 6 months this year and main evented last SummerSlam in a classic against Roman. These are some guys who made it over him. Kevin, do you want me to read you? I'm going to read you number 443. This is a household name, Kevin. Get your popcorn, get your chips. It's Miles Millennium.
And what number is this? 443?
443.
And shout out to Miles Millennium, pal.
Pal, it just gets better. Some of these names. Guess who? Position 451. This is Kevin, this wrestler's named after something you buy from McDonald's.
A Big Mac, pal?
Almost. 451, cheeseburger.
Oh, cheeseburger from Ring of Honor. Okay.
So, cheeseburger.
I've heard of him.
Good for him. How about Kevin? Who's this? 464. Okay, Gary J.
Never heard of him. Never heard of Gary J. I'm sure Brock Lesnar is better than him. I think Brock Lesnar might be a little bit better than Gary J at putting in rest holds. You know, Brock might have him beat in selling. You know, maybe Gary J does a more like realistic looking knife edge chop than Brock Lesnar. Maybe I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Gary J's work. Maybe Gary J wrestled 300 matches in front of like 20 people in indie shows. Maybe he's got
Kevin.
Brock beat in work ethic. In maybe I don't know. Brock Lesnar's not out there making indie towns, you know.
Kevin, and one more, because you could do this whole bit for like 40 minutes. One more, and then we get the point. Then we can sort of move on to maybe another wrestler, another topic. But just another one. This wrestler is, where's he? 488th. So this wrestler's made the top 500 wrestlers. Doug Love.
Love. That's his name?
Doug Love. Kevin, have a guess which promotion Doug Love is from.
What did he wrestle on Dark? Did Cody call him in the middle of Roads to the Top? It was like, hey, Doug Love, you made it to the big time, kid. You're gonna be wrestling my boy QT Marshall.
Kevin, this guy's from, what company is that? Beyond Wrestling Open.
Okay. You know what? I think I've seen a clip of Doug Love come across my timeline. I think Doug Love might do a better German suplex than Brock Lesnar. Just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, it might be a little bit more crisp. You know, the way he locks his arms just might be a little bit more crisp than the way Brock Lesnar locks his arms.
I don't know, but Kevin, yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. It speaks for itself. You don't really need to. You could scream, you could shout, you could let it all out, pal. But the fact of the matter is, Brock Lesnar isn't a top 500 wrestler in a calendar year where he was full time for 6 months, wrestled every pay per view in 2023 for the first 5 months, and then main event SummerSlam last year against Roman. I don't know, Kevin. Any other glaring? I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with this PWI 500. Is there a point you want to make here?
Pal, do you know who Alexander Hammerstone is?
Was he the one that served me KFC the other week?
He's number 18. So, yeah, Alexander Hammerstone's number 18. That is a gentleman that wrestles for Major League Wrestling. Yeah, so... Alexander Hamilton. Or Hammerstone, sorry, Alexander Hammerstone. I guess he's a better wrestler than... He placed over Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Kenny Omega, which this list is kind of built for guys like Kenny Omega. This is kind of like, you know, Kenny Omega is usually a top 10 no matter what he does in any calendar year. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're just ignorant because we don't watch MLW on YouTube every Tuesday night or whenever it's on. But I mean, like, impact and being in like meaningful feuds and moments has to matter at some point, right? To the people that are ranking this, like, do the people that rank this, the people that rank the PWI 500 list, do they sit and watch Alexander Hammerstone segments? Alexander Hammerstone matches? I like, that doesn't seem feasible to me. I cover wrestling. I have a YouTube channel and a podcast. And I don't really know too much about Alexander Hammerstone. Maybe it'd be different if I was getting paid to write a list for it for a world-renowned magazine. But I mean, Sami Zayn's Bloodline feud, to me, means a lot more than whatever Alexander Hammerstone did. No disrespect to him. That match he had with Tyrus at an NWA pay-per-view, or whatever he did. Not a lot of people are talking about it, bro. Everybody's talking about Sami Zayn going into Montreal, pal. So my mind is blown a little bit here right now.